You are the only person who has never met you. Everyone else has. And every one of them walked away with a copy, assembled from what they saw in the light they happened to see it in, and finished off with whatever they already expected. Those copies do not check with each other. They do not check with you. Some are years out of date and still being consulted. At least one of them is a person you have not been since you were 19. This is every version of you that other people see, and what each one is actually made of. Start with the fastest one. Long before anything meaningful has been said, the other person has assembled a working model, from posture, voice, pace, the shape of a face, and it arrives complete, with a confidence nobody asked for. How accurate those snap readings are is genuinely contested. The popular version of that research is far stronger than what it supports. People form these judgments instantly and agree with each other about them, which is not the same thing as being right. What is better established is what happens next. The first model is not replaced by later evidence. It is defended by it. So the first 4 seconds are not a summary of you. They are the frame everything else about you gets read inside. The second version is the most detailed one in existence, and the most out of date. The people who raised you watched thousands of hours of you at close range, in the years you changed fastest. Nothing since has come near that resolution. And the updates arrive in installments now, an hour at a table at a time. A model that thorough does not get rewritten by an hour. It gets patched, new information fitted into the existing shape rather than replacing it. Which is why you can feel yourself becoming a younger person in a room you grew up in. And an old model is not proof that somebody stopped paying attention. Detail and currency are different things, and the copy with the most detail almost always has the oldest timestamp. They are not seeing the wrong person. They are seeing an earlier one very clearly. The third version is assembled by people who only ever see the output. They see that you were short in a meeting. They do not see the night before it. And there is a reliable asymmetry there. Your own behavior comes with the whole situation attached, so you experience it as a response, while someone watching from outside has no situation to attach it to, so they file it as a trait. You were tired. They saw cold. You were careful. They saw slow. It runs both ways. The same compression flattening you. You're performing on everyone in the room without noticing. Most of what looks like personality from the outside is a situation that was never visible. The fourth version does not exist, and it is the one costing you the most. There is a version of you that you are certain is being watched closely. The sentence that came out wrong, the thing you wore, the moment you went quiet. It feels lit from every angle. It is not. People consistently overestimate how much of them is noticed, for an unglamorous reason. You are the only person for whom you are the subject. Everyone else is running their own version of this, about themselves. The same goes for what you assume is showing. The inside of that experience is vivid, and the outside of it remarkably quiet. The audience you are performing for is almost entirely made of people checking their own reflection. Now the one that changes what all of this means. Somewhere there is at least one person carrying a version of you that is slightly better than the evidence. Not a lie. A generous reading. Where the record is ambiguous, they resolve it in your favor, and they have been doing it for years without mentioning it. The interesting part is not that it is flattering. It is that it does not stay a belief. People tend to move toward the version somebody consistently treats as real, and given a room where the better reading is the default, most slowly grow into it, which means some of who you are now was not achieved. It was assumed by someone who knew you before it was true, and you caught up. That is the only copy on this list that is not a distortion. It is a version of you that arrived early. The sixth version belongs to someone who is no longer in the room. When contact ends, the model does not sit there untouched. Memory is not storage. A memory is partly rebuilt each time it is opened, and put back changed. So a version revisited often does not get more accurate with the years. It gets more definite. edges harder, ambiguity resolved, simplified into something easier to hold. That is true of the copy they have of you, and exactly as true of the copy you have of them. Both edited by the act of remembering with no way to compare notes. There is nothing to be done about it, which is the relief on offer. You cannot correct a file you have no access to, held by someone who is not asking. That version is not you. It is a photograph that keeps being handled. The 7th version is barely a version at all. In a crowd, on a train, in a queue. Attention is limited and there are too many people. So perception does the economical thing and files everybody by category first. Roughly this old, roughly this sort, going roughly there. Not a person. A type, briefly. This is the mechanism behind feeling invisible in public. It feels personal, and it is the least personal thing on this list. Nobody declined to see you. Nobody got as far as deciding. It runs the other way too, which is the uncomfortable half. Everybody you passed today was processed by you at the same depth, and not one of them was a type. Being unseen by strangers is not a verdict. It is a budget. The 8th version is the one that makes people worry they are a fraud. You are quieter with one group and funnier with another, sharper at work than at home. Somewhere in there is the suspicion that one of them must be the performance. None of them is. Different rooms make different parts of a person reachable. The people present determine which version of you is even available. That is not a mask, it is a range. Someone identical in every context is not more honest, only less responsive. The strain is not being several versions. It is 2 rooms merging. The wedding, the group chat, the colleague at the family table. When 2 audiences that pull different repertoires have to be served at once. You are not being fake in 9 rooms. You are being specific in 9 rooms. The 9th version is built out of things you did not mean to send. A short reply. A message left for 2 days. A tone that read one way when it was written and another when it arrived. Text arrives with the voice removed. No pace, no face, nothing to say which of several readings was intended. And something has to fill that gap. What fills it is the reader's current weather. The same 6 words land warm on a good afternoon and cold on a bad one. And the recipient does not experience that as interpretation. It simply feels like what you said. This version gets built fastest now and corrected least. The whole exchange can complete without either person ever being present. Half of what people know about you was written in a mood you were not in. The 10th version is yours. And it is a rendering too. It feels like the original because it comes with the reasons attached. But it is not observed. It is assembled, out of remembered episodes and a story that makes them run in order and built from the one vantage point that can never see the subject. There is a well-documented lopsidedness here. People believe they see others more accurately than others see them. Their own read of the room is perception. Everybody else's read of them a misunderstanding. Everyone in the room believes this at once. So the version you carry is not the master copy the others are wrong about. It is the 11th copy. It is simply the one you are standing inside. You do not have a view of yourself. You have a favorite version, 10 versions. One person, rendered 10 ways by 10 different lamps. None of them is the real one, and the temptation is to find that lonely. It is closer to the opposite. If there is no master copy, nobody is holding a verdict on you. They are holding a reading, taken in particular light, at a particular time. You cannot manage the copies. There are too many. They update on their own schedule, and trying to control them is exhausting. What you can choose is narrower and much more useful. Which rooms you spend your hours in, and which few people get to keep updating their version of you. The figure did not change once in this video. Only the light did,